Physics. I just wanted to talk to you guys a little bit today about how we can draw circuits or communicate what's in a circuit to another person. We could describe that circuit with words, something like a circuit contains a light bulb and a 1.5 volt D-cell battery, but it's a little bit more efficient to try to communicate circuits with drawing so that people know exactly what is connected to what. Now, if we try to do a realistic drawing, it can get a little hairy because, well, if you are not a very good artist, like me, you might not be representing these things in a way that other people will understand what they are. And they also take a long time to draw, so we usually like to stay away from trying to draw things realistically. Instead, what we like to do is we like to use this set of simple shapes that refer to different pieces that you can find in a common circuit. So when we draw with these shapes, it's called a schematic. And this is some well-known schematic shapes, although we're going to add to this list as we go. So what we'll start with first is we'll start with a light bulb. So a light bulb is a squiggly line inside of a circle. And you may also see a light bulb being represented by a curly Q inside of a circle. And I have to say, both of these are fine, and I myself am partial to the curly Q inside of the circle. Next, we have a single cell battery. So this is just one battery. Now, batteries have a positive end and a negative end, and that is represented here on the schematic. The positive is being represented by the long line, and the negative end of the battery is being represented by the short line. So when we see just one long line and one short line, we know that that is one battery. But we could also have many batteries put together when we have many long and short lines. And that's kind of like the battery in the back of your calculator, right? There's 4 AAAs, so we would do 4 sets of long lines and short lines to show that. Just a line by itself is going to be any of our wires, but if we see a jog in that line, some kind of squiggly bit, then we know that that's a resistor. And remember, a resistor is just something that's going to slow down the movement of your electrons and reduce the current flow in your circuit. We could also have an open switch by having a break in our long line showing our wires. And you can show that that switch is closed if you just get rid of that break. And honestly, if the switch is closed, you probably won't even know the switch is there because it's going to look just like a wire. Now, other ones that I want you guys to know are 2 measuring devices. One of them is going to be the letter A with wires connected to it, and this represents an ammeter. And what an ammeter does is it will measure the current in your circuit. And in the lab that you guys are doing on PhET, you're going to have to place an ammeter in your circuit. Okay, the other one that I want you to know is pretty similar, but now it's the letter V inside of a circle in your circuit. Okay, and so this thing is called a voltmeter. And as you guys could probably guess, this thing is going to measure your voltage for you. Okay. So that's pretty much as crazy as any of our symbols are gonna get. And when you put them together, they're gonna look something like this, right? Where what we have is we've got that multi-cell battery connected with a wire to a light bulb that connects back to the battery. And we see that current can go in an unbroken circle around and around and around. Okay, that's how we know that this circuit is going to work. And we're showing the direction of that current with this arrow right here. And please remember that since we are here in the US, we are using conventional current. Okay, and conventional current is backwards. We know that in reality, it is the negatives that are moving around in a circuit, but with conventional current, it's showing us the movement of positives. And that's just a historical holdover. That's the only reason why we still have that. Okay? So what we're going to finish with today is we're just going to draw a schematic of a circuit that contains a battery, 3 resistors, a light bulb, and an open switch. So we'll start with that battery. So we'll do a long line and a short line. And we'll connect that battery to a resistor using a wire. So there's my straight line represents the wire, and my squiggly line represents the resistor. And then we're going to do a second resistor. We're going to do a third resistor. All right. Then we can connect that to a light bulb. And like I said, I like the curly Q inside the circle for my light bulbs. And then we're going to show an open switch as we bring that wire back to the battery. All right, so let's double check ourselves. Battery, check. 3 resistors, check. Light bulb, check. Open switch, check. There we go. All right, good luck, everybody.